Yep, I'll do that. I'll do that one as quickly as I can. You may have seen something back about 6 years ago. I had a constituent who came to me, of which I had many constituents, and in my practice in office was to, if anybody came to me with an issue that was they believed freedom-oriented and where government at some level had interacted with them to limit what they believed their freedom was, I would take a look at it because that was where I had focused a lot of my time. And the result of it was I had many folks who came from all across the state, even though they were in other members' districts, because the other members would listen to them. I'd say, come. I have a responsibility to all the people of the state, even though, in that case, the folks in Berks County were the ones who elected me. This one came with the idea of licensing and whether or not it is appropriate to, in fact, license private travel. When you consider that the constitutional right is that you can go out and walk on every road in the state as a free access way, and felt that the commercial licensing, which is in place and it's legal because the Constitution and state government creates commercial activity, felt that the law of commercial activity was taken and applied down on private individuals. And therefore, a license, meaning simply this, a license is the authority, is the permission to do that which is otherwise illegal. That's a license. Kind of like license being licensed to carry a handgun. It's legal to carry a handgun, and that's why we oppose a license for a handgun. And when I was there, my practice generally was to oppose licensing for most anything, because should you be licensed to cut hair? You know, as an example, is cutting hair an otherwise illegal activity? No. But there's always money involved, there's permits, there's government involvement in any kind of licensing aspect. I always tried to resist licensing altogether. This one here he was before the court for an incident. And this individual came and said, there had been a lot of meetings with a lot of people, and said, could you put something together to help shore up my case? And so I had my legal counsel take and do the work on that and put together court cases and a justification for why the consideration of licensing as it applies to that and the concept of what that whole licensing means. We wrote a letter on that case. It actually made the judge consider and change the opinion of what they were going to do. But that was what it was. So it wasn't saying that you should drive without licenses. It was to question the legal authority of whether or not there may be, in fact, a better way than licensing to still have safety on the roads, but short of a license. And so there's a lot of legal precedent, and that's why these things were cited. Somebody tried to take that out and say, you know, more than that. It was nothing more than that, but it was based on that concept. So that's what that happened.